everyone, I'm Zoe and today we're making T-shirt scrunchies. This video will show you how to make hair scrunchies using household items in 3 different sizes: regular, large, and extra extra large. For this tutorial you will need a big t-shirt. You can also use a big tank top or a pillowcase, a pair of sharp scissors, a ruler, some elastic or a stretchy headband, something to mark your fabric with, and a safety pin. Okay, this varies from fabric to fabric, but most of the time, if you use a t-shirt for this tutorial, the seam will look kind of like a row of small bows. But if you use a pillowcase for this tutorial, like I did with these blue scrunchies, the fabric will probably fray and shed a little bit, making the seam look more like a messy ruffle. So grab your chosen garment and turn it inside out, then lay it flat. We start from the bottom, so cut off the hem, making a clean edge. Now grab your ruler and make a few marks along the bottom, 2 inches up from the newly cut edge. Use the ruler to connect these marks, making a straight line parallel to the bottom of the shirt or pillowcase. This is the time to decide what size scrunchie you're making. You can make them as thick or as thin as you want, so here are some basic guidelines. For a regular sized scrunchie, measure and mark 3 inches above the line you just made. For a large scrunchie, measure 5 inches above the line. And for an extra extra large scrunchie, measure 7 inches above the line and make a mark. Today I'm going to make the largest size, and the measurements for this I based off of the brand XXL Scrunchies. So add a couple more marks with your chosen measurement across the width of the shirt for reference, and then connect them, drawing a straight line parallel to, and in this case 7 inches above the first line. Then grab your ruler one more time and make a few marks 2 inches above the line you just drew, and connect them, drawing a parallel line 2 inches above the last one. Now cut along this top line. Now you should have a tube of fabric. Keep it laying flat, then grab the top layer of fabric in the center and fold the tube of fabric in half. That's kind of confusing to explain, but it's similar to cuffing sleeves or rolling down a turtleneck. It will take some adjusting, but the ultimate goal is to line up all 4 cut edges of fabric. Lay it down flat again with the one still visible line facing up. Now we are going to cut the edge into strips through all 4 layers. So starting about 2 centimeters inward from the seam, cut a straight line upwards, stopping at the 2-inch line we marked. Your very first and very last strips at the sides will have to be cut in half along the seam. Well, we made it pretty far into the video without a cat interruption. This is fine. Anyway, a couple centimeters over, cut another straight line upwards, stopping at the 2-inch line. Continue cutting strips into the fabric about 2 centimeters wide, all the way across so it looks like fringe. Then unfold the fabric and lay it out flat with the seams and the markings on the inside. Your tube of fabric should now have 2 inches of fringe along the top and the bottom. Now we're going to grab the top layer in the center and fold the tube of fabric in half again. Just like before, only this time the seams and the markings will be on the inside. And don't worry too much about lining everything up. Now it's time to tie a bunch of knots. So you should have what looks like an infinity scarf with fringe on the bottom. So choose a small section on one side to start and lay it flat so you have 2 layers of fabric cut into fringe, laying one on top of the other. Grab one of your strips of fabric, then grab the strip of fabric directly underneath it, and we're going to tie them together in a square knot. So, quick refresher, you got your 2 pieces. Grab one of them, in this case it's the right, place it over top of the other, fold it underneath and then up through, then pull both pieces evenly to tighten. Now grab the opposite piece, in this case the left, and place it over the other, fold it under and then up through, pulling both ends evenly to tighten. Then grab the next strip of fabric and the strip underneath it and tie them together in a square knot. Make sure all of your knots are super tight. Then continue tying the fringe together in square knots, and when you have a long row of them, trim the ends off quite short so that the knots look like tiny little bows. As you tie more knots, you will start to see the shape of the scrunchie form. So continue this process all the way around, but leave the last pair of fabric strips untied. Now, grab your elastic or your headband and wrap it around your wrist. Cut a piece slightly larger than that length. Now grab your safety pin and attach it to one end of the elastic. Insert the safety pin into the scrunchie between your last strips of fabric and weave it through while holding on to the other end of elastic. Once you get the safety pin all the way around, pull it back out through the hole so you have both ends. Remove the safety pin and tie the ends together in a regular overhand knot. Tuck the elastic inside and finish the scrunchie by tying your last strips of fabric together and trimming the ends. Now I'll quickly show you my favorite ways to wear each size scrunchie. The regular size scrunchies I like to use for ponytails because I find the larger sizes can make my fine hair look a little bit wimpy. The large ones also work great for ponytails, but I like to use them for a quick bun to give my hair a little bit more volume. Now these extra large ones, they do look great by themselves, but my favorite way to wear them is as a topper over a bun. So I will make a bun, and I'm just using my DIY hair donut and an elastic. Then adjust it how I like, and then plop a giant scrunchie over top. And that is it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love to hear from you, so if you enjoyed yourself or if you have any questions at all, please be sure to let me know. And if you're looking for more content, check out my Instagram @anorthodoll. Subscribe to this channel by clicking here, or watch another video by clicking over here.